Welcome back everyone to LBS Response to episode number 112. So welcome back everyone to another LEGO Star Wars video. Today I have another episode of my weekly Q&A series I do here on my channel. And I meant to do these on Thursdays, so today is a Thursday. Let's get back into the swing of things and keep it that way. So really quickly before we get started, I think it's a great product and it also helps support the channel, is GF Displays actually just came out with a Death Star promo case for a sealed copy of the set and an open copy of the set. So I do have a promo code with them. It's code LifeBricks, all capital letters, saves you 15% off. And I'm looking at it right here, guys. Especially if you guys are in the USA, they have very cheap prices and very cheap shipping also. So if you guys are looking for displays, for your sets, sealed sets or open sets, definitely check them out. I've got a 15% off code. Like I said, it helps support the channel. And if you guys get the combo pack of keeping one of these sealed and an open one, you guys are looking at about $33 shipped out the door. I think it's a fantastic deal, and I'll definitely probably get that combo pack for my Death Star. So with that being said, guys, let's get into the video really quickly. I think this is the comment of the month right here, the funniest thing I've read in a while. So shout out to you, man. This is a very funny comment. But let's get into the first question. We have a Crunch Bricks right here. Ask LBS, your channel has been growing a lot recently, so what would your goal for subs be at the end of the year? So I don't really want to put a huge goal on the channel. I don't really like thinking that way too much. I mean, the obvious goal would be like 50K. I mean, that's kind of the next goal, but I really wanted to kind of put this here to genuinely thank you guys and really kind of just show how much the channel truly has been growing, because in the last 8 months, guys, since end of August of 2022, I have doubled my channel size in views and subscriber count. So in the past 8 months, we've done bigger numbers than I did in the first 9 years of me being on YouTube. So if that tells you anything, I mean, that's the testament to kind of just what we're doing over here on the channel in 2023, and I will forever appreciate you guys for that. And it's all thanks to you guys. The channel's been doing extremely well in every aspect. I've been having a great time, and I've been able to help a lot of people this year. So I really do appreciate that, guys, and let's keep it up. But thank you for the question, man. Next up, we have Milo Adami right here. I asked LBS, is there any LEGO Star Wars set that wasn't popular at the time, but when it retired, it became highly sought after? So the easiest answer to this, I think, and the most obvious would be the 2018 UCS Cloud City set. So at the time, retail for $350. It did not sell too well. They actually kind of retired it very quickly. It only lasted about 10 months on the shelves. And now, very shortly after, about 2 or 3 years after, it's going for roughly, $800 to $1,000 sealed. So, look, that's a high price tag to begin with. Sure, you're turning $350 into about 8 or 9. You're doubling your money up, but it's just the principle of it. People didn't buy it at the time because no one really liked it. People thought it was overpriced, kind of ugly, and then come 2-3 years later, a lot of people wish they did buy it. So that's definitely a really good example of that. And thank you for the question. We have Jaden Weeks right here. Ask LBS, if LEGO ever makes a UCS Naboo Starfighter, the Din Djarin version, would you want it to be a $600 to $800 set or a $200 to $500 set? So kind of how you worded that is a little weird, because I would think the flat silver or the chrome or metallic silver would be on the more expensive side, if LEGO were to make it. So my ideal Mandalorian Starfighter from the Mandoverse would be a nice little $350 version. And the reason why, so I think this could be every bit of a $250 version or a $240 version, but I think, tack an extra 100 on there, make it a little bit bigger, maybe add an extra, 10% scale of it. But the most important part would be, make it chromed out. At that point, guys, if they were to make a chrome silver UCS Din Djarin Mandalorian Starfighter for $350, that would be a legendary set. I'd buy it day one. Might actually take the place for my #1 UCS set ever, even over like the Venator. But that would be how I want it. Definitely leave a comment down below, guys. How would you guys want them to do a UCS Mandalorian Starfighter? Speaking of UCS sets, we have Kirby Kurgis right here. Do you think they will ever make a UCS ATTE? If so, what would you like to see minifig-wise? So first off, I really don't want them to. I feel like I'm like the only one in the camp of like just thinking of like a UCS ATT just kind of being kind of weird almost. I think it's something where, sure, eventually, I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but it's definitely not even like in my top 10 most wanted UCS sets right now. I just feel like, think about it, guys, it would be a little weird, I think. I think having a 6-legged walker in the scale of like the UCS gunship, if not even a little bit bigger, to kind of make it work proportionally, I just don't think that would translate well to an official LEGO set. And as much as like we love ATTEs, I really do think it's just not a ship that would sell well. I mean, the gunship already, I think, you know, kind of how they worked it, how they, you know, actually executed it is not selling too well for them anyway. But then you take like the ATTE, and if they, you know, fumble up, you know, really anything with that set, I think it would sell even less. So I'm in the camp of not really even wanting one. You know, but say they were making one in a couple years from now, you know, the minifigure selection I think I would like is, you know, if they were to keep it the exact same way as, you know, the UCS gunship, you know, one Jedi, one clone, I would almost rather them maybe just do like something from like Battle Geonosis again. Maybe give us like a Coleman Trebor, and then like a, you know, a phase, phase 1, episode 2, you know, captain, or, you know, a sergeant or something like that, if they were to do that. Other than that, because I think phase 2 Cody would probably be perfect, but, you know, he's already on shelves right now, so, you know, at that point it wouldn't really be anything too special. So maybe 10 years down the line, you know, give us a UCS ATTE, make it based off Utapau, and to give us that phase 2 Cody again. But there's my thoughts on that. So next up, guys, we have Cameron Klein. He says, do you think the shock troopers will come in foil packs like the 212, or am I going to need to pick up multiple gunships? So I've got two things revolving around this right here. You know, on paper, the more I've thought about it, is I think it's actually possible. I think, you know, when you look at, you know, the ATTE, it's a $140 set. It's a clone vehicle. It comes with 212 that are only in that set. And then, you know, about 6 months later, they put them in foil packs. You know, the gunship this summer is basically that exact same thing, $140. It's a clone vehicle, has exclusive shock troopers. It's definitely possible. The only thing I'm going to kind of say against that, maybe, I don't know this, I don't even know if this has anything to do with it, but if we take something like, you know, again, we have 501st in the foil packs. We never had 332nd, although I guess now we could, you know, going into 2023 with the Swamp Speeder. We have not had 187th yet, and of course, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, you know, they were barely making foil packs, but like we still did not get any of those clone troopers back then, you know. But the only thing is, you know, the gunship this summer, there is that slight chance, very slight chance, because it was like a subtle rumor like a month or two ago that either the Ghost or the gunship could possibly be a Amazon exclusive. I'm definitely leaning more towards the Ghost if either of them are, but if it is an Amazon exclusive, maybe that has something to do like within their like little contract, you know, kind of how they run it, where, you know, they have to keep those minifigures, say, maybe in that set for the actual lifespan of that set. Then maybe they'll mess up foil packs, but I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to sit here and confirm that, but that's kind of my take, where maybe if that gunship somehow is an Amazon exclusive, maybe that'll mess it up. But the only other thing I can really say about that is, you know, do I think you have to pick up multiple gunships themselves? Bottom line of it, you know, wait 8 or 9 months. You know, I think if they follow the same thing with the 212, it's going to be, you know, 6, 7 months. It's going to be, you know, February, March of 2024 when the shock troopers maybe would show up in a foil pack. And even then, you know, I see no reason why you should be buying, you know, gunships at full price. You know, give it 3, 4, 5, 6 months anyway. You'll catch them on 20% off sale. You'll catch a Rakuten deal. You'll catch a clearance deal even at that point, where even if, say, you do want to go in there and get 2 or 3 more gunships to build up your clone army, you get the actual sets on sale, or you wait it out long enough to actually hear about the shock trooper foil pack. So there's my, you know, true thoughts on that. Is either way, I would not worry about it really until March or April, you know, this time, you know, in 2024, I'd say. So definitely leave your thoughts down below, guys. What do you guys think? Are shock troopers coming in foil packs? All right, moving on to the last one for this week, guys. We have a Speakeasy 610. Ask LBS, what do you think the first $1,000 LEGO Star Wars set will be? My money is on a Death Star. I imagine a $1,000 Death Star being absolutely massive and epic. So on paper, I think that works. You know, I really do. I think $1,000 pretty soon here will be the new 800 or 850 anyway. I think it's creeping up on us closer than we think. I think by 2026, 2027, you know, a would-be $800 UCS set would be $1,000 anyway due to inflation. But I think, you know, there's one of two things we can look at here. I think genuinely the best option for $1,000 would be the next UCS Millennium Falcon in, say, 5 or 6 years. I mean, that would be my best bet. I think, you know, for them, for LEGO's sake, and I think for the consumer's sake, you know, the UCS Falcon is just factually probably the most iconic LEGO Star, or I guess just Star Wars vehicle in general. The one caveat I have against a Death Star is, look, when you start getting into the $1,000 range, I mean, like the ones that they've made at just barely over 4,000 pieces, it's already pretty big. You know, it's a round, you know, set. So as it's kind of hard to carry. So that's kind of where I'm getting at with this. If you end up making it, you know, literally a 6, 7, 8, 9,000 piece Death Star, I think you're getting to the point where it's just too big for really anyone, man. Unless you have like super big hands, or just, I don't know, you'll really come up with a good trick for it. I don't even think that would be like accessible in the fact of like carrying it around, picking it up, moving it. I would be awesome, it really would, but I really do think, unless LEGO comes up with something interesting where they can really maybe say make a stand or something below it where it has enough structural support to say hold it by the stand and you can actually carry it that way. Unlike with like the Star Destroyer and stuff, man, I mean, you really have to, and even the Falcon, I mean, you really have to get your hands underneath there and kind of carry it like this to really kind of place it elsewhere. But with the Death Star, you can't do that, since it's a circle. You can kind of do it, but if they have paneling all around, you're going to kind of push in the paneling. It's not going to be super strong, carrying it. So I really do just think structurally $1,000 Death Star, man, I just don't think it's possible yet. But if I had to make a bet, I would say the next UCS Falcon, coming in, at that point, maybe 2027, 2028. And there's my thoughts on that, guys. Definitely leave your thoughts down below. What do you guys think the first $1,000 set will be? I'd love to hear it. So that is everything for today's Q&A video, guys. If your question was not answered today, be sure to leave it down below for next week. And that's pretty much all, guys. Again, it was a really fun episode. I love doing these. I have a great time. And leave your thoughts down below and all the answers. And again, definitely check out GF Displays. Use code LifeBricks. Save some money over there. If you guys are in the USA, I mean, it's just a fantastic deal, man. He runs some of the most competitive, cheap prices over there for displays. Has very cheap, domestic shipping for us in the USA. His wait times are a little bit longer. It's a one-man shop out of his garage, so it might take 2 or 3 weeks to get your items, but believe me, it's going to be worth it at the end of the day. I've actually got some I have to still build and assemble, and you guys will start seeing some of those, stands and display cases behind me here. So that's all for this episode, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys, and stay safe.